Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're going to talk rear ends, and we're going to see if we can get this broken bolt out of the diff pin. Fingers crossed. All right, so our main goal today is to get what's left of this little 5/16 bolt out of the differential pin. If you watched last episode, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't watch last episode, go watch it. The diff we have in front of us is a 10 bolt, because it's got 10 bolts here. There's also 12 bolts, 14 bolts. The 12 bolt is what you really want if you're putting the power down to the pavement, right? The 10 bolt will do you just fine if you're street strip. There's several different styles of the 10 bolt. There's a 7.5, there's an 8.2, an 8.5, and an 8.6. So what's the difference? 7.5, tiny little guy. We're gonna just not even talk about him. The 8.2 is the Buick Olds Pontiac rear end. The 8.5, 8.5 is a 10 bolt with drum brakes. And the 8.6 is one that has disc brakes. So we've got a 10 bolt with drum brakes. And the other thing that'll give this away is there's two little ears. One here, about 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That'll tell you it's an 8.5. So we've got an 8.5 10 bolt drum brakes. So what I'm gonna do next is take all these bolts. Let's get the cover off. See if we can extract that bolt. All right, I got them up on the bench, obviously. I got the drums pulled, so this will just spin real easy. The fluid's been out of this guy for about 2 weeks, and the cover was just, it wasn't sealed, so you can see surface rust already building up, so it doesn't take long. What we've got is a ring gear, side gears, spider gears. Now, initially, what I'm seeing that I don't like is a lot of slop in this spider gear. See that bouncing up and down in there? I can see a groove cut into this little retainer. You see that? That's not good. A lot of slop there. So here's our diff pin. Here, not there, spin around one more time. Right there is where we pulled this bolt out. Now, that bolt travels all the way through this pin into this side over here, and generally what happens is you pull this whole bolt out, and then this pin slides out. Take this piece, and then you're going to push your axles this way and pull the C-clips out, and then the axles will come out, and then you can really disassemble this guy. Well, I've never run into this, and I worked at a Jeep dealer for 17 years and never had this happen, but this bolt broke off. So I think I've got a pretty good way to do this. Let's see if we can get it done. All right, this is not my idea. I followed a guy on YouTube, and he used this method, and it worked for him. So I thought, I should be able to do this. I'm on the bench. He was in his driveway. What we've got is a spacer. It's just an aluminum spacer. You can get this at Home Depot in the hardware section. It's in the bins. I'll hold this up. You guys see that part number? 596855. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to stick it in the hole as far as it'll go. And what that's going to do is, one, center my drill bit, and two, protect the threads that are inside there. Now the drill bit, or I should say drill bits I bought, one, this is a Hercules, this is a Harbor Freight guy, $3. So it's a gamble. Hopefully it lasts. Hopefully I don't break it off in the bolt. As a backup, hopefully I don't need it, I bought this DeWalt drill bit at Home Depot. This was like $12. So again, that spacer was like 68 cents. So if we can get out of this for about $3.68, more power to us. If not, they do make a tool that is made to do this, which I found after the fact. Actually, Steve Hess, buddy of mine, said, hey, check out this tool they have on Amazon. It's like $33, and it comes with basically all the same stuff. It also includes the extractor. So we'll attempt to drill a hole in that bolt and then put an extractor in there and back it out. So fingers crossed. Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna put the speed to this drill bit. We're gonna go ahead and just slowly go at this. All right, guys, it's tough to see, but looks like we're making some progress here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the extractor and see if I've got anything to bite onto. All right, what I have is like fluted extractor. Go ahead and go through here. Just a little tap, tap. Oh, feels like it's turning. Is it coming out? Oh yeah, buddy. We got this. Look at that. All right, guys, there you go. That's terrific. I didn't even drill that far into it. I was just seeing how close we were. So, wow. There you go, guys. $3.68. We got it. Well, that's a load off my shoulders. So, let's take this guy apart now. Reach back here. Yep. Pushing the pin from the back side. Pull him out. It's good to wipe everything off. Give it a good check. Yeah, there's starting to get some ridges on here. You can tell the wear mark. See that shiny spot? Okay, so these axles are held in with C-clips. They're inside here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just push on the axle over here. See how that clip just kind of let loose? We're going to go ahead and get a magnet. I can pull that guy out of there. Now, what will happen is I'll be able to pull the axle right out. All right, the wide angle view, I'm just going to push the axle, magnet. I'm gonna have to fish around a little bit, spin things. Actually, we're gonna spin it this way. C-clip is out. Should be able to just pull on this axle. It's right out. Now, at this point, if you wanted to do axle seals, you can do your axle seals, replace them, and then you just put everything right back together the way you had it. All right, I'm going to take these caps off. You want to keep these caps in their exact same location. Pay attention to up and down. That way, when this goes back together, everything goes back together the same. If you don't, you're going to have problems. So I'm going to go ahead and take my impact gun here. everybody loose. All right, so you take these guys, usually this works, you squeeze these together, and pull it out just like so. So like I said, top, bottom, top, bottom. We're gonna mark everything up so it goes back the same way. Again, come over here, take your 2 bolts, kind of squeeze them together, pulls right apart. Set that there. All right, now we got those caps off. You got to pay attention. You've got some shims in here on either side. If you're taking this all apart and putting it all back together, great. Just make sure they go to their corresponding side. If not, like when we get into this, if we're going to rebuild this rear end, there's a lot of different measurements that have to happen. These spacers basically set this ring gear this way or this way. Again, there's a lot of math and things that go into this, because if you don't pay attention and you just willy-nilly throw new gears in there and whatnot, you're going to have premature failure. You're going to have noises. Bad things are going to happen. So again, we're just doing an inspection, but I'm going to make sure I keep everything where it originally was. So we're probably going to need is a pry bar to pop this guy out. There we go. Carefully. We're bearing and the races. And right here is our shims or spacers. It's actually like a rounded edge on one side, and then a sharp 90-degree edge on the other side, kind of give you this side reference. But we'll go ahead and set these off to the side. We'll get a look at this carrier. All right, guys, what I did off camera real quick was get this one bearing with some brake clean so I can inspect these bearings. And what I'm seeing is not great. You can see a lot of pitting on these rollers. Yeah, this guy's had some serious use. I mean, it's a police car, so, you know, if you don't change the diff fluid, you're gonna have problems like this. There's a pretty good gouge right here on the top of this too. The other thing is the race itself will tell you a story. You're gonna see tracks. I got some pitting in here as well. It just does not sound good either. And I'm going to assume that the other side that hasn't been cleaned yet is going to be about the same. Well, this side's not too bad. Oh wow, there's a chunk taken out of that one. Yeah, so definitely need new bearings. We had a lot of metal on that magnet. And here's the magnet. Bring it into the frame here. Yeah, so look at that stuff, huh? All right, now if we wanted to double check, take a measuring tape and you can very, very carefully slip it through one side here. So we're going to go right to the edge of the teeth. Then we're going to come down here and see what we got. We got 8.5 inches. All right, so we know we got an 8.5. Just one way to tell, guys. It's the ring gear. All right, when I say carrier, I'm talking this guy that holds all the junk. He holds the ring gear and all the side gears and spider gears in there. This guy. There's 2 different styles. There's a Series 2 and a Series 3. This is a Series 3. This will hold 273 gears and lower, you know, 411s going extreme. This is a 308. The Series 2 will hold the higher gears, which is a 256 and higher, so down to like 241s. That's your highway gears, top speed. It's not going to get you out of the hole real hard, but anyways, we get into numbers on the gears themselves. We've got a part number here. We've got a 13, which means there's 13 teeth on the pinion gear. When we come back, we got 40. 40 is the number of teeth on the ring gear. So if you take 40 divided by 13, you come up with 308. There you go. And we also got 78. We have a 1978 9C1. In here on the pinion, part number is the same with the exception of this ends in 29. This ends in 28, which means they're a set. You'll come over here. You'll also see the 13 and the 40. And it also gives us, spin it, 1978. So everybody's matching. All right, I'm going to take the ring gear off of the carrier here. These are reverse thread, so see they got an L on them. Lefty tighty, righty loosey. Got a brass hammer here. There we go. So what I did see on the pinion and on the ring gear here is a wear pattern that is just, it's showing these things are worn out and need replaced. So now we're talking spider gears, side gears. I'm sure these clutch packs are pretty wore out when we get into them, the friction discs and the ring and pinion, plus all new bearings and seals. So we're getting into some money now. Tap that retainer out. On here you can see the wear mark that I was talking about earlier, where the spider gears were coming down and hitting that guy. Here as well. So now I should be able to spin this. And pull out my spider gears. These guys are really rounded off. Should be a shim. Is there a shim back? There you go. There's the shims. Now these guys, wow. You can see the edge on them. They are really, really worn out. Yeah, so that side, I'll go ahead and drop this side out. Keep things where they need to be so I don't get everything mixed up. So there's a bear carrier. You know, the only thing left to take off of this guy is going to be these bearings. And we've got our discs. We start looking at this stuff. You know, they don't look horrible, but I'm sure they don't work as good as they used to when they were new. And on these side gears, yeah, that wear pattern's got quite large. So we need some stuff. Went ahead and rolled the differential this way so we can get to this pinion nut, get this yoke off and get the gear out. So it's hard to tell, but there is a nut in here. It was just caked with oily dirt. Put my socket in there. Nut. Yoke. pinion gear. All right, looking at our pinion assembly or pinion gear, we got a bearing here that I am surprised looks really good considering what the carrier bearings look like. Right here, this is a crush sleeve. This sets your preload. We'll get more into that on reassembly. So up here we have a seal, which is easily replaced by just removing the nut, the yoke, replace your seal, put everything back together. There is a torque to that nut. We'll get into that more on reassembly. What I'm going to do now is just kind of get this seal off. I'm not going to be able to really pry on this because, you know, it's going to pull the diff onto the floor. So I'm going to get a little screwdriver and a hammer, just tap the seal out of here. We'll take a look at this inner bearing. There's our seal. Here's this bearing. And again, I see a little tiny bit of pitting, but really not too bad. Doesn't matter, we're going to put new bearings in it anyways. And the last piece is going to be this race. Now that race, you can tap it from inside and it'll push it out this way. And throw that on the floor. So there's our inner race. Again, a little bit of pitting, doesn't look too bad. And that, folks, is disassembly and inspection. So, like I said, that's disassembly and inspection, guys. This is where we got to do a cost analysis. We got to figure out, okay, we need all these parts. How much is it going to cost? And then weigh that against finding a good used entire unit. I'll let you know. Hopefully we get to rebuild this one. If not, we'll find a good used unit, clean it up, and get it in bare and keep on trucking. But you guys want an update? Give you an update on where we're at right now with Bear, because I have a lot of balls in the air right now. Come on. Here's Bear. Last 3 weekends, I have been killing myself getting all of this cleaned up and ready for paint. Still a little bit of stuff to work on. Again, you'll see this in an upcoming episode. It's going to be the epic episode where we reinstall everything back here. The differential's kind of holding us up right now, so we're going to move quickly on that. Sitting over here, working on springs. Springs are painted. Probably another coat on them. They'll be done. New bushings in there. You'll see that in the video. I got a box of parts over here. We got all kinds of mounts, things like that. These are all done, ready to go. I've got a sway bar that's done. End links, new shocks. It's going to be a fun one, guys. Gas tank. I got to take care of that gas tank still. So I'm working 40 hours a week, and I'm killing myself on the weekends, guys, to get these videos out for you. So I appreciate you watching. It is definitely what's keeping me going. And keep the comments coming, guys. I'll see you in a bit. Have a good one.